It's 10 days before the Route 66 JDM Classic, and we are preparing for that. We've got a lot in the shop and a lot of cars that we're trying to deal with getting ready, both our own and what we have here. Our vehicles are, for the most part, ready, but there are a few things that need to be done, like brakes and trailer brakes, brakes on the dual cab, oil changes, detailing. In addition, we have customer cars that we need to deal with, 2 of which are here right now, and over the course of the next 10 days, you'll see more. So this is going to be a kind of a long episode, but also going to go day by day by day where we end up with in our preparation for the Route 66 JDM Classic up in Williams. Darren, what you got going on?
SU carb tuning.
Carb tuning. So yeah, trying to get these carbs dialed in. What's one of the primary sticking points on this thing?
Stuck nozzles. The nozzles stick. Next you know, needle and seat don't operate the way they should. They like to run super rich all the time. Black smoke everywhere.
Anyway, what's going to happen here is Darren's going to work on this. Unfortunately, the needles that are in the carburetors are a little on the large side because the ones that were in there are trash. Anyway, let's get it all figured out. Alright, so Darren is working on that carburetor over there. He's taking it off. It looks like the needle is sticking in the carb seat. The needle is sticking in the nozzle of the carburetor. And this carburetor actually on that car is a cobble together of a couple, it looks like, and it's possible the nozzle that's in there is the wrong nozzle. We're not sure where it came from, what it came from, whatever. It doesn't sit right. We're not happy with it. We're just trying to make it work because at this point, honestly, the only thing we know needs to happen is that the carbs need to go out and get rebuilt by the Z Therapy. But we're going to try and get this thing to where the owner can drive it up and back to Williams, and then we'll deal with it when we get back. In the meantime, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to work on this 620, which needs to go as well. This one right here has a mysterious coolant loss issue. It looked like the coolant overflow hose may have been a problem, so I'm going to check that out. So I've replaced the coolant overflow hose with a new hose, and that's all in place. We think this was where he was losing his coolant. It looks like the coolant level is where it was on Friday night. And we just need to make sure that we're full here, we're full to the bottom of the cap here. So it looks like that might be good. If you come under here, it's a whole different story because there's residual at the heater core and the heater control valve. And it looks like, it's sopping up coolant. So this is definitely leaking right here. So we got to figure out what we're going to do about that. Alright, so we got a package in. It says don't use any blades, so let's do this way. What is this? These are, hey Darren, the seat covers for the Z. Alright. It's awesome. Looks like tops and bottoms. Nice. Alright, so Darren's got this thing running a lot better. And it looks like the AC is working. Huh. I don't think it's got any refrigerant in it though. You get any temperature out of it?
Just regular air.
Okay. Well, it looks like the Z is getting seat covers sometime between now and 10 days from now. So, some point, we'll get it. Alright, sounds like the car is running good now with air conditioning. Alright, what else can we get done today? Alright, seat covers are in. End of day one. Alright, so it's Tuesday morning. On my way into the shop. Let's get it. Alright, so behind me on the board, we've got all sorts of things to do, right? And so that's our checklist for Williams, and there's all this stuff to get done. And it is now 10 days. Yesterday was 11, so it's now 10 days before, so there's a lot to do. So right now, we've got that Z to get done this week, some things on the 1200, a couple of things on the Z, some things over there. It's gonna be a week. Morning, Dave.
Morning. That's a bright, sunny, shiny day. How's everything doing?
All right, Darren's over here working on this pile. Yeah, got a misfire to deal with. Getting VIN number and all that. I'm over here dealing with taking this engine apart. We put an engine in, the head gaskets are bad, so I'm fixing that. I gotta take the engine completely apart as far as getting the heads off and get those over to a machine shop so that we can eventually get it back together again. So that's my job. All right, so it's been a day, like usual, but Darren's had a success. He got the heater core out of the 620, which that's full of leaves. I got the heads off the Z, which of course are junk because, well, they're junk because they were had coolant left in them, and the heads are now corroded. The aluminum is disintegrating, so that's junk. And then, of course, we had a customer come to pick up his Z, and he thinks his car is better shape than it actually is. And of course, yeah. So, not a great day. Not a great day. We didn't feel like we got much done. Let's try tomorrow. All right, it is Wednesday, so we've made it through 2 days of trying to get things figured out. Our list did not get anything off of it at all yesterday. We're going to work on that today, at least some of that list, even if it means staying a little later than I wanted to be. Darren is working on carburetors. I have a Z that I'm working on. Let's see where we get. So Darren's working on this carburetor here. We had the customer come by yesterday, and he wasn't very thrilled because something happened where the wouldn't run right, and of course it's because the stupid the nozzle wouldn't return in the carburetor, and it's the wrong nozzle, and he won't accept the fact that it's not he doesn't accept the fact that there is a possibility that somebody messed with his carburetors before. So case in point that we know that this carburetor has been messed with before, the air cleaner is not even the right air cleaner. This air cleaner is actually for a 72 model car. This is a 1970. So we know there's got to be some touching around that happened under the hood of this car. We're just trying to crutch it in whatever way we can so that it runs right. All right, we got Darren in his natural habitat working on a Hyundai. This one came in with the wheel knocked off the back, and so Darren's getting this thing tore apart. He's already got the bearing on, which is awesome, and he's about to get all the rest of that back together. Darren was also successful in getting those carbs on that AC tuned up right, so that can go home. I finally got done doing these cylinder heads, getting them all prepped up and ready so that they can go on this car, which I've got the engine apart. I'm cleaning up gasket surface. We got the boss lady in the office now.
Hi.
She's taking care of that. I got parts over there. I got parts here for the night shift. So I can work on this list right here and get this list all done. And also, we're tracking the weather for the upcoming weekend. We're updating that. So now we're getting all prepped up. Alright, so I got this prepped up and ready to put heads on. And the heads will be on in 1, 1, 2, 3. There they are. Cool. So now we got heads on. All right, the night shift at High Impact Motorsports. So we're working on the dual cab. I got my fuel filter down there that I'm changing. That is I got a carburetor fuel filter right before the fuel pump, so I'm gonna put that in. I got a high pressure fuel filter under the hood that needs to be put in. So I'm gonna get that done tonight with some spark plugs and wiper blades and some other stuff. Meanwhile, Kalissa's over there learning how to park. Uh-huh. There she goes. She's on her way to go parking. And so she's gonna go find a parking spot and park in it. Man, I'm so proud of her. She's braking a little late. She did a perfect park just a little bit ago. There she goes. Gonna drive off again. Perfect. All right, so here we are. It is 9 o'clock at night. The night shift is over. It's time to go home. I'm tired. I got only 3 things marked off the list, but I actually added a couple of things to the list. Kalissa's over here. I did a valve cover and I did valve lash too, so that's taken into account. But yeah, it's tiring. It's time to go home. Yeah. Morning, Dave.
Hi, good morning to everyone. The phone's ringing.
Well, it's Thursday, 8 days before, and yeah, we've still got a board. So let's get to it today. All right, so I'm going to be taking care of getting this thing hopefully fired up today. We don't know how far I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try and get this thing fired up today. It's going to take some time. So that's my task. Darren's job is to figure out why the brakes are locking up on that car. Might change spark plugs on that car. And we'll see what else shows up. But no matter what, we still have this list to clear out. And the more we can get done now, the better it is to get stuff done later. Alright, it's middle of the day. The engine is in and assembled. Darren's over here getting this one together. Got the old engine out, the new engine ready to go in. That's awesome. It's only, what? It's only like 3 o'clock. How about that? 3:10. Yep, that's what we want. Rock steady on the temperature gauge. Yes, sirree. Alright, well, it's 8:30 at night. Darren has got the engine in this truck. And the Z over there is running and clean. And so it needs a little bit of stuff. And we got a few things done on our board, which is great. Because, you know, getting that board ready for Williams is good. We are down to 8 days at this point. So this is, remember, it's still Thursday, not Friday yet. But it's only about 4 days of work between now and Williams. So we're doing good. And we picked up another car that's going to Williams that we need to get ready. So this car is getting checked out tomorrow so that we can go on the cruise with it. So you'll see it on the cruise. And then this truck, we got word on the heater core. So this thing will be done on Monday, I think, or sometime around that time period. All right, it's Friday. We have a packed shop full. And so we're gonna get rid of some things today. Follow along. So my task today, well, I've got multiple tasks. My task today is to take care of this car right here, do a well check on it, make sure the carbs are right, make sure that it's safe and ready for the car show season so it can take and drive several thousand miles. And then Darren over here, Darren's job is going to be getting this truck running after swapping in the engine yesterday. And then of course, there are other things that are coming that we need to do as well. But ultimately, we're going to have a productive day.
Well, we're going back to minerals, guys.
All right, so I have the typical planning for a road trip, and being the guy in charge is checking the weather, emailing people about what you're doing, making sure that the map and itinerary is right, because, you know, got to change stuff from time to time. Sometimes desk work is what has to happen, right? Darren's over there doing real work, man's work. Yeah, so here we are. My buddy Corey's out there with his truck, taking care of that. And then Darren's fixing the latch on that. This Z over here is getting handled. This one, well, I need to get an answer on it. I'm getting other things done, priorities. And then, oh yeah, the other Nissan truck out there that Darren was working on. That guy, right there. That's running good. We're making progress today. Oh, so funny story. Corey is actually running a fuel pump we had on the shelf that Darren and I somehow found time on Wednesday to clean up and verify works good. So Corey now has a good fuel pump because out of basically our trash bin of spare parts. So now he's got a good fuel pump. So we were able to help him out today. So crazy. Busy day. All right, Darren is loading the trash up, taking the trash out. Clunker now has a new tag, and the trunk of Clunker has all our spare parts. And the trunk of Clunker has all our spare parts. And look what else is done. We got Kira's car in and out in a 24-hour period. So it's actually going to get picked up on Monday, but it is ready to go. It's like crazy. How are we doing? So we leave the shop Friday with this list slowly getting eked back and stuff knocked out. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time before I leave. I'm going to clean tools, and I'm going to do a couple little things and fart around with a couple things, and I'm heading home. I'm going to head home, and I'm going to enjoy the evening and get some rest after a few long nights. And then I might come down tomorrow. I might work on Clown Car, get that done. And then it's just a matter of coasting into Williams, maybe, unless something crazy comes up. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time before I leave. I'm going to clean tools, and I'm going to do a couple little things and fart around with a couple things, and I'm heading home. I'm going to head home, and I'm going to enjoy the evening and get some rest after a few long nights. And then I might come down tomorrow. I might work on Clown Car, get that done. And then it's just a matter of coasting into Williams, maybe, unless something crazy comes up. So if all goes according to plan, you might see me a little bit tomorrow, which is Saturday, but we're going to fast forward to Saturday and then straight on to Monday. Well, fast forward, it's Monday. And Monday comes with a renewed sense of desire to get things done right. Yeah? So, as I was saying, the weekend kind of stank. Darren's over here doing injectors, and then this car decided it's time to have its day in the sun. So now it needs something. We don't know why, because it intermittently starts missing, and then it starts running right. So possibly a bad injector. Our board is getting knocked off little by little, but it is still there, and we're adding stuff to it. On the bright side, the steering wheel cover is in, and I'm starting to stitch that up. The heater core for this truck should be done today, and we should have the parts to finish this. The insurance should be taking care of this guy today, or rather tomorrow. And those two Z's get to go home. But then that guy has squeaky brakes, and I gotta find out what's going on there. So it's gonna be a busy Monday. Well, busy Monday. All right, Darren's got the injectors being tested right now, at least one at a time.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like we have one of these injectors leaks over here, that one leaks, and the flow ratings are uneven from all of them. So we're hoping that in the stack of injectors over here that I've got, that we'll have something that will work. And if not, we'll buy some injectors. In the meantime, I'm waiting for AutoZone to deliver parts, which is an ongoing problem with our parts suppliers, AutoZone and Napa. Getting parts here from different suppliers can be a problem. I don't know why. I also got the steering wheel cover in on this car. So the steering wheel cover's on. And then I'm working on the steering wheel cover in here. And hopefully have that done. All right, it is now Tuesday morning. And here we are at High Impact Motorsports getting stuff started back up again. So yesterday, we were working on the clown car on my other Datsun 1200, and we found out that the injectors were bad, so we replaced those on that car, and that actually fixed the problem. So the 1200 is actually up and running, good to go. I drove it yesterday. I was here till almost 10 o'clock last night. Anyway, drove it home. It ran absolutely beautiful. The dual cab, the brakes are good on that. It turns out that there was a squeak because the backing plate on the brake pad had the little clip on it had kind of undone, and then that was goofed up. I fixed that. That's good. The steering wheel covers are on the cars. The stuff that's in the shop is in the shop that needs to be worked on, and yeah, just a lot of stuff good. We got rid of the orange 240Z that was here, and that car goes home today right now. So Darren and Dave will take that and get that out of here. And then if you look at my board is actually looking fairly good. There's only a few things to do. I've got to take care of a brake controller on the dual cab, and then some other little tidbits, and I've got to get Joel's trailer tomorrow and go over it and detail cars, and then we're good to go. I've added a significant amount too. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. So right now I'm working on this Ford Mustang. This is a good one to share. This has park and 5 drives. So basically it's stuck in drive, but it goes into park, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Let me show you what happened. And this is worth looking at. So this nut right here is loose, as you can tell. There's the shift shaft. And what happened is the shift lever this is the spool valve that gives you your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and all that other stuff. This guy right here was stuck in drive. And this had moved off because that was loose. So what we got to do is tighten that down, stake that nut, and then put this back in that position right there. And it should work. So it's not a huge issue. It just is an annoying one. Now, that's one of the issues. The other issue is that the vehicle won't start on its own off the key. Somebody has installed permanently a push button on the dash, so we're going to remove that and probably fix the neutral safety switch, which is probably the problem. All right, everybody. So it is now a wonderful day called Wednesday. So we have knocked out pretty much everything off the list except for detailing cars, and then there's some greasing that needs to be done and some basic last-minute maintenance items. So just got stuff to do. Let's make it happen. All right, so I got my table of supplies all set up, and I got victim number 1, victim number 2, victim number 3, of which victim number 4 is back at the house. So the list is looking significantly better. Lots of X marks on stuff. Conspicuously undone is Joel's trailer. But all the rest of this looks like we're good. And then I haven't updated the weather yet. Alright, that's better. Weather's looking great. Precipitation chances are actually increasing for this show, which some might be upset about. I love it. This is what happens when you let Dave make decisions. You get pretty stuff. for the Z. What'd you find in the trunk of the Z? Oh, refills for the wipers?
We must have bought some extras.
Oh, well, awesome. That's good.
So maybe we'll just keep them there until we need them.
Detailing these cars on the inside, and I just discovered that this trunk doesn't actually fit tight, so I'm going to adjust the latch down here so that the trunk does fit tight, so Cheryl doesn't end up with carbon monoxide poisoning.
You just noticed that it doesn't fit right?
So tell us all what you did.
Oh no, you really? So I found a glass cleaner bottle, and it had green liquid in it, but I just didn't care. So I started cleaning the windows, and Patrick's like, "You do know you're using Simple Green, right?" So I fought with the streaks so much that I was like, "Man, what the heck is going on? Either I don't know how to clean windows." Nah, it turns out I'm just not using glass cleaner.
Yeah, see? My fault. I didn't take the label off. Alright. Aside from that being loose, when did that happen? Anyway, the dual cab is clean now, which is pretty awesome. Darren's working on some battery cables. Not sure if that's an October surprise or not. And the Z is clean inside. So I gotta wash that car, which is inside detailed, and wash this one. And then I think we can work on the trailer. Alright, so now we have Joel's trailer. It's time to get that worked over, because that's all washed up and ready to go. The Z is all ready to go. That car needs washed, but we'll get that done in a second. And the trailer's really the only thing we need to worry about now. Alright, it is... Oh, my camera's dirty. Alright, it is the end of Wednesday. We got one more day to go, but we've got 3 cars ready of the 4. So 3 of the 4 cars are ready, and we're almost there. Boss lady came in today too.
Who's the boss? I'm the boss.
Welcome to Thursday, the last day before we have to hit the road on the Route 66 JDM Classic. And so, it says 7 days on the board, but it's not. We know that. This board is practically done. I have a trailer to take care of, and I have a couple of things to pack, and then I'm going home, getting a rest, and we're gonna have a good day today. Per normal, we're doing a brake job in the doorway on the day before we leave, right? Yep. So Darren's getting that taken care of. It is time for me to now stop procrastinating and get this trailer, the bearings repacked, and the trailer lights fixed. I don't know why I've been doing this for so long, but so much other stuff comes up, and the trailer is just the last thing on my mind right now. Oh, you know we're done. We're darn near done when, you've got Darren over here buffing out Cremator. So Cremator is going on the trip, and he's getting it all buffed out for this weekend. And I finally got the trailer done. How about that, huh? Pretty cool. Trailer's all basically ready to go. We are ready to go. So now we're gonna clip the end of this video. You'll see us, the next video you see will be us cruising to Williams and going to the show and all of the debacle or debauchery of things that happen along the way with that. So have fun. We'll see you all on the flip side.